Welcome back to Radio Geonosis, where we talk about Star Wars from a certain point of view. I'm Angie.
Now, Marin, what's up, guys?
Hey, we've been out for like a hot minute.
We have, but we've been doing some things.
Yes, we've been busy with the business.
Yes, we have. We have. We've been out. We've been busy, having fun.
Doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So let's just catch up a little bit.
Let's catch them up. Yeah.
Yes. So the last couple of weeks, I did Treats in the Streets on Thursday the 26th. It was a lot of fun. We did a show there and gave out lots of candy. We gave out like 800 pieces of candy.
Oh, wow. Good job,
was a lot
guys.
of kids, man.
Good job, guys.
So
Great
fun.
job.
That was in the city of Orange. I would love for you to go to that next year because that
Absolutely.
was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And then this past Saturday, it was I'm lost here. It was the 28th. I did a parade in Anaheim. It was a Halloween parade.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, we were at LA Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I did a panel in the morning, and then I walked around with my friend who was the dude.
Yeah. And the costume was perfect.
Yeah, Jim was great. He even got interviewed.
It was 95% him, just 5% robe. So he just was the dude. He just looked like the dude.
Yeah, after we did the panel, he said, I'm going to go and change in my costume. And he said, it's something from the 90s. So I'm like trying to guess, couldn't figure it out.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, I've never seen it. So when he walked up, I was like, okay, what is this?
Yeah. Are you yourself?
I'm like, okay, you're in a robe and you have half and half in your hand. But I didn't have
Yeah.
any idea what it was.
The dude in his milk. If
Yes.
you've seen the movie, you understand. You know like what that represents.
Yes.
But he got interviewed.
Yeah, he got interviewed. Tons of people took
Pictures with him, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, but in our journey of walking around, we ran into Aaron and the guys.
Yes, Mad
from
Studios.
Mad Studio.
We were making sure we got tons of footage and content and pictures and ask questions and just we were around. This time we were I was pretty talkative last year, but even more so this year because everyone else was on like the same page I was on as far as like talking to people, seeing what they did, where they lived, and stuff like that. So it was cool.
Yeah, and you gave out lots of shirts. So
Gave out plenty of Mad Studio shirts.
yes, I have one.
Yeah, a lot of Mad Studio shirts and a lot of business cards, and we got a lot of followers back because of that.
Yes, and some really exciting news.
Yeah. That we should be there next year with the booth. That
Yes,
should be
that is-
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
awesome.
yeah, we did a video, and it was just for us, for Mad Studios, our video. But then we tagged, of course. It had to do with the hashtags and us tagging Comic-Con LA in the post, and they saw it and reached out and was like, just how it was thrown together. So shout out, Konami gets all the credit. Like I'd had some footage on mine, but I gave him the footage I had. He put it all together. He edited it.
He's
put
the mad
music.
professor.
Yeah. He put the video on there. People were. It was crazy because people were like, "I'm in the video. I'm in that video. I'm in the video." So
that's so awesome.
Yeah. So that was cool too. So
I'm not in that video.
I'm in the video, but yeah, everybody saw themselves could due to the hashtag. You had you put the hashtags Comic-Con LA or Comic-Con, the video pops up and there people watch the video. So the video got some views via Instagram, and they reached out and was like, you guys have to come back next year and
I really
footage.
need to learn how to do the hashtag stuff. I really don't do a lot of that, and my daughter's telling me, Mom, you need to do that because then more people will see your...
your daughter's hashtags are how you get the clicks.
Yeah.
So
and I'm learning.
Yeah, it's fine. I didn't know anything about hashtags, so probably like, it was only been like 2 years, but in internet time, that's like someone's like, well, you don't know about hashtags? I didn't know about hashtags.
Yeah, you're like ancient in that.
Yeah, I was like, what the hashtag? I just thought hashtags were a thing for Twitter. I didn't know they were a thing for Instagram also, even for Facebook too. So, yeah, well, hopefully we do get a boost. So I'm gonna try my best. I know Comic-Con itself is a big extravaganza, so I'm gonna hope to try to stay in contact with them and see if they still remember, like, oh, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. But again,
It opens the door.
absolutely. And if we have to pay, like, we paid for the mural on 7th Street. We all put our money together and paid for the mural.
That's awesome.
So we could put our money together and make sure we get a booth for Comic Con as
Yeah,
well. So.
heck yeah.
And shout out to Vicious Skill. They're my friend Millions. This is his brother's clothing line, 2 of his brothers. And they're at Comic Con. They're at all the cons, Designer Con, Wonder Con, all the cons. And the power of having a booth is exactly how their brand grew. So yeah, they told us to go for it. So
yeah, it opens the door to a lot.
absolutely, yeah.
We didn't have one this year. Rebel Legion didn't have one, and nor did the Saber Guild or 501st, but the Mandos did. So I made sure to cruise by their booth, and give a shout out to them. For all the hard work that they've done. Hopefully next year we'll have one again. I'm really hoping for that.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because you guys' booth was awesome last year.
Yes.
Yeah,
We had
was
a good
awesome.
time.
Yeah.
I had such a good time. Now, this past weekend, I was at something called Big Adventure, which I hope that they do again next year. It was a comic book and concert all together.
Oh wow.
At the Orange County Fairgrounds. And so Modest Mouse was there. Empire of the Sun was there, Fantagram was there, and a lot of
big names were there.
Yeah, big names were there, and it was all in an open area, and then they had like the booths and things on both sides of these. Have you ever been to the fair where they have like you can go in and see the exhibits?
Yeah. It was set up that way. Okay.
Yeah, it was really cool. I had such a good time.
That's awesome.
And I think I kind of lost my voice. I did a lot of talking to a lot of people.
That's
good.
Yeah.
Because the Saber Guild was there, and I want to give a shout out to the Outer Rim. Some of the guys from there came. Outer Rim Temple and Temple Prime. So yeah, both of our temples were there.
Oh, they were out there in full effect. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, it's crazy how from our first episode of this podcast to now, how big nerd culture is and how accepted it is. Because even for Sunday, talking to the people at different booths, they were surprised that Sunday even was that packed.
Yeah.
Because you were there earlier than we were, but we got there like pretty early, around 11 or something like that, and it was pretty quiet and modest then, but still a few people. And then as soon as like 1 o'clock came,
oh yeah, you could barely walk in there.
Yeah, so it was crazy. So it's just crazy how every year it seems like, and then the kids get older and then adults get older and they bring their kids, and
that's
like
right.
It's just way more accepted than pop culture. It's because they associate it with like pop culture as well,
right?
So. It's crazy how big it's getting.
Yeah, and it's crossing boundaries because
one
of the things that happened when I was at Big Adventures is I actually did a interview with NerdBot. It was myself and my friend Philip from Saber Guild. Temple Prime. We got onto their page, and so hopefully NerdBot will have it up on their TV screen. Mm-hmm. So it was like one that they filmed. So I'm actually filmed on there. So it was.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was really exciting. But
any idea when that is going to be posted?
I don't. He said it'll be about a week or so. So as soon as I find out, I will post it to my page and then post it to you, and I'll send it out to everybody.
Okay, awesome.
But I was talking to him about how the geek and nerd culture is crossing over, because at Coachella you had Hans Zimmer, who did the Batman theme. He did a concert there.
Yeah.
And Coachella's known for bands and things. And so Big Adventure was kind of like that too, where they're crossing over, and that's one of the things that I told him is that they're crossing over and we're mixing these two together.
Yeah.
And there were people dressed up, some people not dressed up, but it introduced people who normally don't go to those kind of things to those kind of things. Mm-hmm. And, where you had bands and stuff playing, where people went to see Empire of the Sun and Modest Mouse. And here you are, there's this geek culture kind of festival going on.
Yeah, this mashup.
Yeah, so I thought it was really cool. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that we do that again, because it was a lot of fun. And it was just great for both of those.
What would stop it from not happening, as far as like what would have to happen for it not to?
They didn't make enough money.
Oh, okay.
So if they didn't make enough money, funds. Like let's say it wasn't profitable for them, then they can't put it on next year. But hopefully they'll do it, and you're going to see other bands there. Now, if Tame Impala was there, I would have been crying. I love that band. So
So and a lot of times, because we've thrown events, we've had like the Cherry Go Round, which is like a cannabis event. We've thrown different shows. A lot of times, you kind of have to leave that part up to it was the first one, right? So you have to leave that kind of that up to the people who have the booths to do like the marketing and making
Right,
sure they tell
right.
their fan base or their core, whoever it is, family, friends, whatever, to come check out their booth.
Yeah.
Because you really just got to pay the acts, like the performers,
Right,
and then
right.
if so, hopefully it does happen again though.
Yeah, I
Hopefully.
do too. I really do hope, because it was a lot of fun. So today, when I went to pick up Aaron, I saw some super exciting news that
Oh, yeah.
Cassian is going to get his own series, which I'm super excited about because I love that character. I really don't think that he got a lot of play, and there's so much storyline there because the way he says, I've been in it since I was 6 years old. So what happened to his family? How did he end up with the rebellion and all the things that led up to his end,
Yeah.
which we know what happens
We
to
know what
him.
happens to him, yeah.
But what led him to this?
Yeah.
So I really want to see that. I know Disney, one of the things that I happened to find was Disney has their new, it's called Industrial Light and Magic, a Lucasfilm company. It's the new TV division. So this could be their streaming
Oh
service.
yeah, this could be the streaming service.
Yeah, so they said that The Mandalorian is going to be on there. I'm telling you, that show looks like it's going to be off the charts.
John Favreau. One thing I know about John Favreau from he's dedicated to his projects. Whether,
Yeah.
From
And look at the guy. Look at The Mandalorian. He looks fantastic.
yeah, again, like John Favreau being just because John Favreau is a nerd, and I think you have to leave stuff like this up to the people who really are in love with, because he's a Star Wars fan. So it's for him to get this job. It's like he's probably had this show in his head from he was like 7 years old. So you give him that with like the season director he is, along with the resources. I don't see how this show can't be everything it's hyped up to be. You know what I mean? And the on-set pictures he's taking and sharing look
fantastic. Now, if Disney gives streaming carte blanche, we could see some really creative stuff.
Absolutely.
And we could see, a lot of great shows coming out of that. And Disney could end up a Netflix. They could end up a powerhouse.
Oh man. Because even minus the shows that they're developing or have ideas, if they want to even throw their movies on there, they want to throw like Mulan, Pocahontas, or whatever movie did Lion King. If that was
it could be a powerhouse.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
for sure.
This one I heard yesterday too. Ron Howard is open to the Star Wars franchise. He wants to do another one.
As he should.
As he should. I've watched the last couple of days. I rewatched Solo, and it really.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I've really.
Okay.
I mean, I loved it anyways.
Yeah.
Last Jedi was the last one.
Yeah. We're not gonna because you haven't rewatched that.
No, I'm not.
I asked you
excited
to, and you did, and you.
It was torture, but but he wants to redo it. Wants to do another one, and I really did love the storyline. I liked where it went. And you really have to stop and watch it and listen to what's being said, because someone told me, well, he's not. I don't know if it was you or someone who was saying, well, he's not the suave guy that you see in Star Wars: A New Hope, but he hasn't developed himself yet. When he's doing Han Solo, the movie Solo, he's not quite there yet.
Oh, not at all.
Because when he meets Princess Leia and when he meets Luke Skywalker, he's already developed his character because of what's happened in his life.
Yeah, he's far off.
Yeah.
And that's something the true Star Wars fans see. And Angie, sometimes as fans, sometimes the fans, I relate to Star Wars fans. We both do. But sometimes they just got to pump your brakes a little bit. If like we recognize, that's not the Han Solo we know.
Right now, yeah.
That's a young, not even close to seasoned. I don't even think he's really seen people even die like that. Until that train mission, until the train mission in the beginning, like even been a part of something like that, a big heist. So he doesn't even have. He has no idea.
Yeah, he was on the planet Corellia, and then he ends up part of the war, and so he gets to see he sees that aspect of it. And then he goes to then he goes on these missions, and he was now he's got his ship. He's on his way to see Jabba the Hutt. So those are the things that kind of build the character of the person.
Yeah.
And now he's older when he meets Princess Leia. And so he's He's a suave guy because he's had to do what he's had
Had
to
to
do.
do
Right.
because he's a little went on a few escapades or whatever the
Yes.
case may be. Yes.
Yes.
So the Han Solo we got in Solo was just a rookie.
Yes.
Nowhere close to a veteran. Not even I don't know.
Yeah. Now, when I was at the parade in Anaheim, I talked to a guy that's Revan. His name is Kerry, and he does the Revan for, I believe, the 501st, and I got to march with him. It was pretty awesome, and I think this is the second time I've gotten to do that because when we did the Fleet of Fans at Disneyland, he was the Revan there too.
Okay.
So, but what we were talking about is the Old Republic. And he said, of course, because he's Revan.
Yeah.
He said the Game of Thrones writers, which is David Benoff and D.B. West.
DB West.
Yeah, they start work on the Star Wars spin-off after the end of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping this is Old Republic. Now, what Carrie is telling me is yes. This is going to be
an Old Republic. I mean, and what they're
and I hope Carrie is right.
And I believe Carrie's right, and I believe so too. Just because they have one more season of the Game of Thrones left, but they're fans of the old, so them doing something current, I don't see it happening. So the old Star Wars lore and the way how the Old Republic, I think that's something that they would rather do just because it's past Star Wars. You know what I mean?
If we see something like Game of Thrones, I think we're going to see something awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, they're going to give it that kind of old, Vikings or, old kind of
medieval kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to see that. And I'm pretty excited about that. And I want to see that kind of thing. Old Republic stories need to be told.
They do, because they're the most raw, and that's what. And with Old Republic stories, not reading much as the Old Republic books, but playing like the Old Republic RPGs back in the day. They, along with being raw, like I just said, but you get more of a gist of why everything is going on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
How at one point the Jedi Temple was a Sith temple.
Yeah.
And how all of that kind of took place. We hear about the 1,000-Year War, but let's see it.
Let's see it. Yeah. We're past hearing about it now. And all these
was
years,
it a 1,000-Year War?
Yeah,
it was a 1,000.
It was a 1,000-Year War, and I never understood why. It maybe because timing is everything. So maybe right now was the best time to throw out additional Star Wars content. But not too long ago, we were reading about Star Wars kind of wanting to slow down on that. But you really can't. There's all these stories and these characters and these adventures that we need to know about.
Yeah.
Even the next younglings coming up need to know about it. They gotta get their head start pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? So I think as far as the Game of Thrones writers go, D.B. West and I forgot the other gentleman's name.
David Benoff.
David Benoff. Yeah, David Benoff. They're going to be the first of the people to do it, and then you're going to see a lot more people diving into the characters and we could definitely make a story off of him, her, whoever. So.
And I saw something on my friend John put it up, I believe, and it was something about Keanu Reeves possibly being Revan.
Oh wow,
that would be awesome. That
John Wick as Revan, Neo as Revan.
Yeah, look at how many lines he was also in that 13. I can't think of the name of it. Something about 13 something or other. It was kind of a Japanese kind of
movie. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I think he's a really good actor. He has a lot of he brings a lot to his different characters.
And he's stout.
Yes.
And Revan is a stout.
And he can fight.
Yeah.
He's actually a black belt.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. I was gonna say that. Great minds think alike. Keanu Reeves is a martial artist.
Right.
He just doesn't do this for his movies. He really takes. He fell in love with it after doing The Matrix.
Yes. Who did it?
Yeah. Almost like how Steven Seagal was like already into martial arts before his movie career started. So it wasn't nothing for him to like be
Jason
anyone.
Statham too.
Yeah, Jason Statham too. So yeah, these are the best guys for the job. Just everyone
man,
we just named.
They do their own stunts.
They do their own stunts. They're well versed in combat. I think Keanu Reeves would be awesome in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
I think that would be great. I think that's like such a good idea.
Yeah, I really hope that that is something that's true.
Yeah,
I really
me
do.
too. Me
Okay,
too.
so a fun thing I read about was Disney has the new Star Wars at Sea Disney Cruise Line. So now you're going to be able to go on a cruise. Not that I would be going on this because it's like whooping expensive.
Oh, is it?
Yes, but it Disney has their own, Star Wars
How expensive are we
cruise.
talking?
I'm probably
Impossible expensive?
not impossible expensive, but probably a lot.
Uh-huh.
Could be $2, $3, $4,000.
$1,000? Oh,
My
wow.
daughter's old boyfriend, he went on a Disney cruise, and I did not realize that Disney has its own island.
I didn't know that till right now, but I'm not surprised.
Can you imagine not an island that we're talking about at Disneyland,
But
that
just
you
somewhere
row
off,
to,
yeah.
but yeah, a real
Island that you just you
They
hop
have
on
a real island.
I'm not surprised at all. I've like I said, this is my first time ever hearing that Disneyland has an island, but it's kind of not shocking.
Yeah, I mean, oh my
What else does
gosh.
Disney have?
Probably a lot. I mean, there's Disneylands all over.
Yeah.
There's Disney in France. There's Disney. I believe there's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
in China
There's
too.
one in China. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
actually. Wow, it's crazy how the universe works. I was just watching the anime Yukashina or whatever like that, and it's a Japanese anime, and the characters on the anime were going to Disneyland to like
Wow.
look for a kidnapper. It was like it's like a cop anime. They were going to Disneyland. But I wanted to ask you something, Mandy. What story, Old Republic story, would you want to see, or character would you want to see ever, if you could direct a show, if you could produce an Old Republic show?
I definitely would like to see Revan because he's
Revan.
the good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
I'd like to see oh my gosh, what is his name? He was the very first. He was a Sith Lord that became. Oh my gosh, hang on just a second.
No. Go. No,
I'd like
go.
to see Bane.
Bane. Okay.
I'd like to see Bane because then you find all the story about how he came up with the idea for the rule of two, and then there's one more, and he became like almost like the king, Darth Maglus.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
I would
okay.
like to see that because he actually becomes the emperor. So what this guy did to become the emperor, I'd like to see the Jedi and the Sith battle. I
That's
want
what I
to
want.
see that because
That's what I
then
wanna
you're
see.
seeing Jedi and Sith with those kinds of, they're both trained.
Yeah.
And so you're going to see some real fighting.
Some real
'Cause
authentic,
we don't see it.
but combat.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I would want to see Bane.
I'd like to see the,
I would like
the
to see a-
romance behind both, and because I think prior to Yoda coming around and taking all the fun out of everything, there was Jedi and Sith.
How they let
hooking
this
up.
little guy just come in and just take charge and just boss everybody around?
Yeah,
I'll
tell
never
everyone, all right, no more hanky
I'll
panky.
do you think that's due to Yoda's power? You think because to get everyone in order, not because everyone.
But I
wasn't
don't
in
know
order,
if he came up
but-
with that idea. I don't know if that's what it was. But prior to that, in the Old Republic,
Mm-hmm.
you did have, the Jedi. They were having children and
yeah.
things like that.
That's why I want to know.
According to the Old Republic book,
yeah. That's why I want to know like how Yoda came in and kind of just implemented these.
cut out the hanky panky.
Yeah,
stuff.
you know what I mean?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe and made it more monk-like.
Yes.
You have to be more of a monk life, and because love and things get in the way. Maybe he sensed that with the Old Republic.
Think he saw the future a little bit? You think
could
he saw the
have.
future and was like, if
Well, if
they
he saw the
stray
future,
off,
then he would have seen
and
Anakin
get-
and Padme.
yeah. See, because to me, it's no, and we'll get back to your point. I only ask this question because the rules, the way how the Jedi rules work, they're more so like just for Yoda. It's like Yoda's way of life.
Right.
I'm not saying he made the rules, but everything it suits a guy like Yoda because he's not worried about the other stuff. You know what I mean? It's everyone else's. The temptations are for everyone else.
Yeah, it seemed
Yoda
like
doesn't
everybody was doing it behind the back
of Yoda, exactly.
except for just a few of the like
There's a few-
Shakti did
yeah,
it.
a few of
them
true
did it,
followers.
Yeah.
A few. It's almost like having a cult. There's always someone that goes off stray. Like
Mace Windu wasn't out there,
yeah,
doing
yeah.
that kind of thing. But there were some doing it behind his back. you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Those were the true.
the rebels
Yeah.
without a cause or with a cause per
with
se.
the cause.
Yeah.
With an agenda.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so they said that episode 9 is reportedly taking two extensions because they're taking their time because they're rewriting and they're redoing. And then I saw something today that J.J. Abrams was late getting to the set, so the movie's going to be like 29 minutes late. I'm like, what the heck?
Well, 29 minutes late of
I
what? Well,
don't.
how does that? What?
Instead of going on at maybe midnight, now the movie's going to go on at 12:30 in the morning, kind of thing. When they once they really, I don't know. I thought, is this silly? Because he was stuck on the 101 freeway.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, L.A. traffic is. We all know that's a pain.
Oh
But this
yeah,
sounds like
man.
This sounds like. It sounds like they just want to go out with a bang with this movie. So
I think he will do it. Like I said, we had this one in the middle that, it's like, the Matrix 3. It was like, it was okay.
yeah, yeah,
It was okay.
yeah. It sounds like they're just trying to get everything right.
And I think they will. I think he will. Okay, so also this past couple of weeks back, John Williams was hospitalized in London, but now he seems to be doing
You
okay.
okay?
So which I'm really happy
Get
about.
better, John.
Yes, yes. Prayers are with him.
Yes.
Star Wars Episode 9, they suggest that Kylo Ren rise to power. This is a new leak that, this is old because we haven't been able to do the show for like a hot minute.
Yeah.
But we will see lots of some stuff that went on with him and the Knights of the Republic. The Knights of Ren.
That's
So we could see some.
perfectly fine with me.
Yeah, because then it can answer some question as to what Ray saw. And
Okay.
then what Luke was talking about, how he was doing some training. Where was the temple? What was he training him with? What information did he
Yeah.
have? Because how much did he actually have?
I'm all for more Kylo Ren.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
I would. I really would like to see more Kylo Ren.
Yeah, he's kind of like a Revan, he's kind of a little Revanish.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if you played this game, but Star Wars Battlefront 2,
Yes.
now this is old stuff.
Yeah.
October 26th to the 31st, a Halloween-inspired night mode is coming.
Yes.
I don't know if people played that. You were on Mos Eisley, Endor, Kashyyyk, and Naboo.
I was watching people on Twitch play that for the 3-4 days.
Was it cool?
It looked cool. I don't have Battlefront 2. I had Battlefront 1. But I do want Battlefront 2 because of the story with the female lead, her being a stormtrooper and then switching over.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
now that even could make a movie.
Oh, Andy, if they have the cinematic cutscenes on YouTube as a movie, it's like almost like an hour and 30 minutes long. It's
like
incredible.
Red Den. What was it?
Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
The Battlefront 2 story is incredible. I watched the cutscenes. It's incredible.
I'd like to see that.
It's
So,
incredible.
Yeah, they go to there's a Death Star 2, Jabba's Palace, all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah.
that looked like it had a lot. This one was cool too. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, October 30th and 31st. The Defense of Dathomir, which is cool. Event will commence as General Grievous, Count Dooku, and the Separatist army invade the planet.
Oh wow.
This was for a limited time, 2-tier event. Players can gather forces of Night Sisters, and I think that's really cool because, I'd like to see more Night Sister action.
Yeah. Yeah. You were a Night Sister. You
Yes, I
cosplayed
have a
as
Night Sister costume, and I really would like to see more of that. And then Mother Talzin, she is really cool. I think she's still around. I think that there's a lot to be said about her. She's very mystical,
Yeah.
and I'd like to see that. And let's see. And then Carrie Fisher, they celebrated her birthday. A lot of my friends were at Chinese Palace with
Oh, really?
Ramen's Chinese Palace. They did like a birthday kind of event for her, and I guess she's got her hands or her feet. I'm not sure what. I think it was her hands. How they did at the Grauman's Chinese Theater.
Yeah.
How they had those things, and so
Yeah.
they did like a celebration. Her brother was there.
Happy belated birthday, Carrie.
Yes, yes. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace for sure. Was there any Star Killer news? No, I'm just kidding.
Star Killer.
No, but I wanted to say something. There are students, I believe, at Duke University. I believe it's Duke or North Carolina. They're right next to each other. Both colleges, both universities are close. Who were petitioning? I don't know if they still are, but they were petitioning to do their own or to have LucasArts do a live action Star Killer
Oh wow.
because they have one of those both of those campuses, I believe, have like a heavy Star Wars following or club.
Everywhere
And
has a heavy
yeah,
heavy
you
Star
know,
Wars
and
following.
they're huge Star Killer fans, and it's crazy how like on my Instagram feed, again, I don't know how the universe works in crazy ways. How Star Killers is being brought up in the conversation again. So I hopefully LucasArts or even the students get those funds. If they started a GoFundMe, I'm pretty sure I would donate a $5 or $10 here and there.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if you guys do hear this podcast, you guys should do it, and I
Yes.
will gladly help you write it.
Yes. Because I think that, I think there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of stories to be told as far as the Old Republic, any of the games. There was a lot there that
Yeah.
that should be told. I mean, and I think a lot of the Star Wars fans, I mean, there's people that are like, okay, it should be this way or that way. And I've always argued that, Lucas found a way to tell the story in the way that he feels is best.
Exactly.
And the same thing goes for 1, 2, and 3. I
Mm-hmm.
really did like those stories. I mean, people think they're corny or whatever. I think he told it in a way that he felt was that he in his mind should be
Do you
told.
think he wasn't as in? Not saying he wasn't involved, but you think he wasn't as involved in like the later renditions of Star Wars?
I think that, with 1, 2, and 3, he was older and he was seasoned. And so maybe the ideas that he had when he was younger weren't as fresh. So when he wrote it, there was a lot of pressure on him to make sure that the story was told in a right way. And for him, he felt that it was, but for other people, that they
Then
were
they felt otherwise.
yeah, they felt ripped
'Cause
off and
it's
whatever.
almost
But I just don't think that.
yeah, because it's almost like Tom Clancy movies or series, and people like, oh, Tom Clancy movie didn't live up to the hype or the game for that matter or the show, or whatever. But it's like, but is Tom Clancy even around like to even be to even put his harder like that 2 cents in like
Right,
that? You know what I
right.
mean? So I wonder if George Lucas is because now it's at the point where he doesn't have to do much.
No.
And he earned it. He earned the right to put something out there to where it gains so much traction and it's this world renowned thing. So he doesn't have to be there. But I wonder for like the later Star Wars movies if it was a more so like here George, what do you think of this? And it's just like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Right.
I'm past this now.
But from what I've seen from all the excerpts, all the the special, because I look at all the videos.
Special features and everything
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
I watched that. He wrote the scripts for Phantom Menace, for Attack of the Clones, and for Revenge of the Sith. He wrote that, and so I think he wrote it in a way that he felt did the story justice, and so I give him kudos for that. And if people really didn't like that, why do we see so many people cosplay those
Characters.
specific characters?
Because they do. Because they did like them.
Because they did like
did
it.
like 'em.
They did
Yeah.
like it. And I mean, a lot of people, I don't watch those ones. Fine, don't watch them because I do.
Yeah.
And I really do think it gives a lot of credence to to what led up to A New Hope.
I think with the Phantom Menace, it was one of those things where whether it was episodes 1, 2, and 3, because those ones are like people. You have people who love them. Of course, you have people who don't like them. I think it's almost like when you had someone in your life and you didn't appreciate them until later on. Like,
Yeah.
you just look back and you was like, oh, they did do this for me, or they
Or
did.
even music.
Yeah,
Music you didn't like as a kid, you like
and then
now.
you grow up now and you like it. Yeah, for a perfect example, I grew up not understanding rock, and then as I got older, your tastes change in anything, whether it's from
Right.
music to food. So I think with the Phantom Menace, I think as time went on, and people they opened up their DVDs or they even popped in the VHS, whatever you did, you look back and you're like, this movie wasn't that. What was I thinking? Did I just not understand it?
Yeah.
Did I just not get? Because I didn't understand the Phantom Menace until I got older. You know what I mean? I watched the Phantom Menace, but the Phantom Menace was like a political Star Wars movie. to
Right,
me.
and it had to be.
And it had to be just because of what was going on. But I didn't understand it until I got older. I didn't understand why these council meeting and these treaties and all this other stuff. I'm like, this is stuff I learned in social studies. I don't
Yeah,
care
you're
about
like,
it.
you're
I
boring
don't
me.
care about it. Yeah, you're killing me here. But as I got older, I was like, this is why things are how they are now, because
Right.
they had to go through this. They had to go through these council meetings and this person not agreeing with this. It's just like the world we live in today.
Exactly.
And I didn't understand that younger. So I think that's what the case is with those.
Yeah. I
older
think
movie. Those
probably
young,
when I
yeah,
get older, the Last Jedi will.
probably not. Ann. You're just
I
gassing
don't
me up
know.
right now.
It may change. I may have a change of heart with
You know,
that.
it might get because I haven't watched that movie in a while. You know, so I know it's definitely. I've not watched that movie like I watched The Force Awakens.
Yeah,
I
me
watched The
neither.
Force Awakens
All the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not only just because my son it was my son's favorite movie, but I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed everything about it. I haven't watched The Last Jedi as much as I watched The Force
Yeah, yeah.
Awakens. You
Now
know.
I have a fun story for you. I unfortunately I wasn't able to do this event. It was Women of the Galaxy, and I was working on a Barris Ophi dress. I really was trying to sew this thing in a hurry. I only sewed a couple of things, so I'm such an amateur. But I what I did was I got my old TV out that has a VHS player on it, and I watched A New Hope, um, and Empire Strikes
Mm,
Back and Return of the Jedi on VHS. Now
mm.
we're talking about the VHS that came out before the 20th
Anniversary.
anniversary.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stuff in there. I'm like watching it. And I'm like, hey, they added stuff here and they added stuff there. So it's been kind of cool to watch it,
Yeah.
to go back and watch it. Now I didn't think Jabba the Hutt was in there because people were saying, well, they didn't have Jabba the Hutt, but he actually was
He
in
was
there.
in there. Oh,
Yeah, he
okay.
was in it.
Oh, really?
Yes, but in the beginning, when Han Solo tells them to get onto the ship, and right before that, Jabba the Hutt talks to him. That actually isn't happening. It doesn't happen in the very first movies they released.
So
It's
they
not in
added
it.
that
They
in.
added it in.
What?
Yeah, there was stuff they added in. There was animals they added in. There was all kinds of. It was really an eye opener to watch it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, some of the stuff that's in there in the 20th anniversary is not in
In
the
original.
originals. It's
Oh.
not in there. So I thought that
What?
was kind of cool.
I gotta get my hands on those. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I honestly did
I
not know that.
actually picked those up for $3 at the thrift store.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Great.
And I mean, they look like they came from Blockbuster because it's like perfect. You open it up, you take the movies out, and the thing opens up, and it's like a planet thing in there.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like I'll
Wow.
have to bring it so you can see
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I have
But
to
I
check that
also
out.
have
Yeah.
I have the because we were talking about. I posted it on Facebook, and so a lot of us were talking back and forth about it. And so I don't have the Christmas series one, the Christmas Star Wars Christmas.
The Star Wars Christmas.
Apparently, that's pretty awful.
Yeah, I believe we talked about that in one of our episodes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's pretty awful.
Yeah.
So I have the originals. I have the 20th anniversary, and then I have Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, but I do not have Revenge of the Sith. So I was asking people, did Revenge of the Sith get released on VHS? But I believe that it never did because DVDs came into play at
Okay,
that
right,
point.
right at that point.
Yes.
Was what 2005?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
VHS was out at that point, so it was not released on VHS.
Oh,
Because a lot of people were posting Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, but no Revenge of the
No
Sith.
Revenge of the
So
Sith,
there
yeah.
could be some out there. There could
might be. Yeah, there could be. There
yeah,
could be.
that's like that's like
The Holy Grail,
Yeah,
or-
something like that.
You would have to really honestly check to see who would have a VHS. Maybe the people who were working on a Star Wars movie have a VHS, the studio, or
Yeah, but
there
I'm
might be
going
a
to
few
rewatch
people
it
out there.
again. I'm going to rewatch them again, and I'll write down. I'll sit there and write down all the things that got added in, so we can go over it. Because I thought it was kind of cool. A lot of people were mad that they added those things in there, but I think it kind of gave it a little bit more credence.
You can't please everyone.
No, apparently not.
You can't, and again, I went on a rant about this one of our other episodes. Like we just have to like appreciate these
Yeah.
movies while
And he
they're
added
still being
stuff-
created, because
yeah.
you never know. You never know, like whether it's a superhero genre, Star Wars, you never know. You might have your favorite, whatever, whether it's Star Wars or superheroes. You might have your favorite, your preference.
Right.
As directors, directors are they're creative people. They're in the moment. You know,
Yeah,
they're
and
creative.
you're exactly right.
So if
They're
they don't
in the moment.
So if they don't want to make these movies, they don't have to. If they feel like they want to make a drama, they want to curate their own movie, they will. So we have to. Well, yeah, we could not like what we want, which is fine. We're human beings. But as far as appreciating that them coming out, like
Yeah.
or people still want to direct them, you kind of just gotta appreciate the fact that people still, after all these years, the first Star movies came out in the 70s.
Yeah.
After all these years, someone still wants to, I'll take on a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. A Ron Howard or
Whoever.
John Favreau, who's doing
But since the story has got so much, you've got, the books, you've got
yeah.
the movies. There's so much
exactly.
information.
Exactly.
That when someone when we're not going to see the shock and awe that we did in 1977.
Yeah, because we've been spoiled as Americans with technology and things look great.
Yeah.
And that goes back. There's so much information that, as a director, which it won't happen, but they could be like, I don't want, it's just too much Star Wars stuff out there. So you just gotta kind of just appreciate, as far as like the fact, like, well, at least they're still doing it. It's been years, you know what I mean?
And if you decide to add things to the movies, like he decided, hey, this is going to look good here. This is going to look good here. Add a more dewbacks, add more droids.
Absolutely.
To give it more.
Yeah, you half the time you don't really notice until someone tells you. Oh, did you know? Cause I had no idea. So it's like, oh, did you know that he wasn't in there at that point? Like, I had no clue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you won't even know half the time, and usually it's for the better.
Yeah, and you couldn't add it back in 1977. They didn't have the technology.
Exactly. It's almost,
it might have been in his head to put it in there, but he can't do it.
Yeah, I was scrolling on Instagram the other day, and someone posting the Hayden Christensen at the end of episode. Was it episode 6?
Yeah, it would be 6.
Yeah,
it would be Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, when Hayden Christensen is Darth Vader when they're ghosts, and at the end.
Yeah.
And someone was like, "What did you like?" They had a poll. And they were like, "Was this like basically they were asking like, wasn't this stupid?" Like.
Well, in that sense, they should have left the older man because he was older.
Yeah, he was older. Yeah.
So in that sense, it was kind of a mistake to add Hayden Christensen
in.
Right. But it could have been, well, that was his stopping point of being a Jedi.
Yeah, exactly.
And that might have been George's idea.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Or I think it's like with because Star Wars is so, to me, what I've gathered from Star Wars over the years is so, I think Star Wars is more so a play on, it's what's going through on Earth as far as like politics, but also like heaven and hell too.
Yeah.
So I think like George's or whoever's idea that was more so like they say like an angel is like when you saw him at like their purest form.
Exactly.
So I think
he was the good guy.
When he was the good, exactly. So like how you just said, like he was last the good guy here. You couldn't have like old lava face Darth Vader like ghost form with like his
right, but he's not in that one. He's not. He's not lava faced. He's a normal dude. But I kind of think it's kind of sad because now that dude is no longer in the story.
Yeah. Also, that too. He's more so like the and what I meant by lava face, like the battle scarred, the scarred, the worn out Darth Vader. So I think it's just like him in his purest form, the way how he we
remembered him.
But I think that's more so what it is.
Yeah, maybe that was why George did that. And I mean, like I said, it isn't up to us. It was up to George because he was the creator of it. And I mean, I've long argued that for us to say it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
What he thought in his mind was best because he came up with the story.
And he hasn't really led us astray. We love the movies. We still buy the backpacks, the games, the crayons, everything. So it hasn't led us astray.
Yeah.
If he just wants to add something there or take something out, he's earned the right to do so. It's
he
not
has.
ours.
Even though Disney owns it now, he was the maker.
He's a shot caller still.
Yeah.
You own rights to what's yours. Whether you share rights or you're still the one who Disney's coming to you because they love it so much. They have the money, the cachet, the resources, the empire to obtain certain things from you. But at the end of the day, he still does get the final say.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
So I was really happy. I'm happy. I'm glad I got to watch it. I'm going to rewatch it, like I said, and it's if you haven't ever seen the original ones on VHS, I say watch it because it really is cool to see it in its purest form.
Yeah.
But yet I like what was added. I mean personally, I like what was added.
Yeah. To each his own.
All right. So next week, we didn't get to do this, but next week we're going to do Dark Side. We're going to
Yeah.
be talking about our favorite Sith Lords. We're going to be talking about all things of the dark side. We
Yeah.
were going to do that for Halloween, but
Yeah,
because
but-
for a hot minute we weren't on the air.
Yeah. We had other things to do.
That's right. We had other stuff to take care of.
But we're back.
Yes. At the end of the month, I will be. We're having a huge Halloween. Christmas party. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
awesome.
And it'll be involved with the 501st, the Saber Guild, Droid Builders, Rebel Legion.
Oh, it's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge, and it's going to be in Riverside. So
Oh,
I'm going to try
wow.
and have some pictures up. Try and do some interviews. Knock on wood, my little recorder's working. Yes. Then in December, we're going to have a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to be doing a parade in Chino with the Outer Rim. We also have Hillsides, which is an event for orphans at the orphanage in Pasadena. I won't be able to attend that because it's the 1st of December and I have other commitments. Then we have, I will be in the Hollywood Parade. I'm sorry, in November, on November 25th, I'm going to be marching in the parade.
Oh, cool.
The Hollywood Parade. And it will
Cool.
be, I believe so far we're at like 70 Jedi marching in there.
Oh.
So it's going to be huge.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. That's awesome.
So I'm really excited about that. So that's all for us this week.
We're back.
Yes, and we're finally back. Please look for us on Facebook at Radio Geonosis 2.0, Instagram at Radio Geonosis.
Twitter, Radio Geonosis. Yeah, and make sure
On
you guys subscribe.
iTunes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
iTunes. Make sure you guys subscribe so we get the personal iTunes link, and just subscribe. All things Star Wars. That's
Yes,
what we do.
and then also on YouTube at Radio Geonosis.
Yes,
Please
yes.
like and subscribe.
Please,
yes,
please.
yes. So from all of us here at Radio Geonosis, I'm getting kind of tongue-tied. I'm like, okay, I have to be at practice in a little bit. I'm
We're-
on
we're-
my way down to Skywalker practice today, so I'm going to be picking up my hilt. I'm excited.
Oh, awesome,
Got a
awesome.
new light in there. So from all of us from Radio Geonosis, we'll see you next time.
Later, guys.